Good morning, students. This is Anil Kumar, your zoology faculty. Welcome to Sri Ramanuja Vidya Mandir, a temple for learning. Students, in previous class, we discussed so many phylums such as Porifera and Coelenterata and Stenophora. Another one is Platyhelminthes. So now each and every phylum have its specific general features we discussed. At the same time, classification also we discussed. Now today's class, I'm going to teach you there is a Platyhelminthes classification and followed by Haschelhelminthes phylum. Take a look here, students. So this one is a classification of Platyhelminthes differentiated into three classes, student. The first one is Turbularia. Okay, so the Turbularia as a common example of this one is Planaria. Okay, so here what is this class is talking about? This one is a free living flatworm. Okay, it's a free living flatworm, and it is a habitat is both available in the fresh and as well as marine water habitat. It is present in the both fresh and as well as marine water habitat. And here is a mouth is a ventral. You can see this is about the ventral mouth only. I told you already. It is many of the Platyhelminthes, it is a dorsoventrally. Okay, so this is a backside is a dorsal and this one is a ventral position. So the mouth is to be present in the ventral position. So here is what is that? The mouth is to be ventral, and another one is that there is a pharynx. The pharynx here is nothing but here is represents the protrusible. That means it is the pharynx, it is extending towards to the mouth. So this is a pharynx, right? It is extending towards to the mouth. That's why it is called as protrusible. Okay, so the pharynx is a protrusible in nature. So here there is a great regeneration capacity we can observe in the it's very common in this planaria. So this is a basic features about the class 1 indicate the Turbularia. Fine. So you can see the diagrammatic representation of the planaria. Fine, students. So next, another class. The another class of Platyhelminthes is represent Trematoda. This one is Trematoda. Okay. So Trematoda, it is a class 2, it is a Platyhelminthes Trematoda. It is a both ecto and endoparasitic worms. That means ecto means here is that external of the body, and inside of the body it is a endoparasitic worms. Here the body is don't have any segmented. That's why it's called as unsegmented. Okay, don't have any segments it is. That's why it's an unsegmented body, but the body is covered with the cuticle layer. Okay, cuticle layer. Here there is having the one or more suckers. What is the purpose of the function of suckers? It is a attachment. And here is a mouth is the anterior part. Okay, you can see this is about the diagrammatic representation of what is that Zygostoma. It is considered as the blood fluke of man. So this is a diagrammatic representation. It is also hermaphrodite in nature. Okay, so here you can see the mouth. Here only we can observe this is about the mouth is a ventral. We can observe here anterior part, and it is a hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite, you know already. What is that? Both organs. For example, you can see there is a male organ is to be present here. Male organ, and followed by a female organ is also present here now. So both male and female organ is present in the hermaphrodite. That means hermaphrodite, and some of are unisexual. That means only dioecious. Okay, or sexes are separated now. But in the one more point about this class, it is represents there is a single ovary is present now. Okay, but testes are 2 to many are present now. So this is about this class about the Trematoda. It is a common example of this one is that Schizostoma are also called the blood fluke of man. And one more example I will give you students, that is another example is that polystomum. Polystomum is another endoparasite. It is generally commonly found in the, it is also called as endoparasite. Endoparasite. Where it is found? It is found in the urinary bladders of the frog and turtles. It is found in urinary bladders of frog. So this is one more endoparasite that is a common example. It is a polystomum and it is an endoparasite. It generally is found in the urinary bladders of the frog. And one more important about this class Trematoda, what is the meaning? It is that they shows a typical life cycle student. Generally you are already seen that there are two type of life cycle you are already seen now. What are they? That life cycle of the Fasciola hepatica, liver fluke. And another life cycle you are already seen, no, that is Taenia solium life cycle also you are already seen. No. So here the Trematoda, that is a Schizostoma, shows a typical life cycle. That means the Schizostoma here, this one Schizostoma is actually, there is a radia metacercaria larva stage are absent. Meta Cercaria, Metaradia and Metacercaria larval stage absent. This is a very important point student. What is this? Here is Schizostoma is actually known as the blood fluke of man. Generally this Schizostoma shows the typical life cycle. Here the radia and the metacercaria larval stage is absent in this case. Okay, so this is about the information about the class 2 Trematoda. Fine. So the next class of Platyhelminthes is Cystoda. Cystoda is also endoparasite. It is generally found in the intestine of the vertebrates like human being and other animals it is. And here is the body is covered with the cuticle. Okay, so here the body is to be divided into many proglottides. Okay, generally proglottides we already seen, no, that is considered as the segments, but it is in this class of the Cystoda, the proglottides, it is not considered as a true segment. That's why you can see it is not true segments. Okay, so the body is divided into many proglottides in this class of organism, but those segments is not a true segments. And here you can see the mouth and alimentary canal are absent. It's very important point student. Generally the Cystoda class of the Platyhelminthes, don't have any mouth and alimentary canal are completely absent. Another one is hooks and suckers are present. Generally what we consider as the hooks and suckers, it is considered as the adhesive structure. Okay, the hooks and suckers is considered as adhesive structures. Fine. So this is responsible for the attachment only. It is not responsible for ingestion of food material. Next, it is also hermaphrodite reproductivity organ. That means you know already the both male and as well as the female organ are present. The common example of this one student, you can see Taenia solium is also known for what is that? It is a tapeworm. And Taenia sarginata, it is also called as the beef tapeworm. And one more important point, that is that Echinococcus is known as it is a dog tapeworm. This is a very important point student. That is definitely they will ask question in the NEET exam. Echinococcus is known as the dog tapeworm. It is the smallest tapeworm. Okay, it is a very smallest tapeworm only. So this is a common example for the class 3 Cystoda. Fine. So next another, this is about the three classes of the platyhelminthes student. Okay, so what we this is a very very important student. And next I'm going to teach you, that is another one is examples of class 3, right? That is a Cystoda. That is the first example. You can see this is a Taenia solium. Okay, the second example under microscope we can observe, that is a it is a Echinococcus. What is that? It is a dog tapeworm. It is a very smallest tapeworm in the platyhelminthes. It is also called the, what is that, dog tapeworm, Echinococcus. And Taenia sarginata. Okay, this is another one. It is that third one. So these are the three common example for the, what is that, the class 3 platyhelminthes, that is Cystoda. Fine. So next we are completed successfully the phylum platyhelminthes student. The next class I'm going to teach you, that is next phylum, that is that Aschelminthes. Now you can see this is a generally Aschelminthes also known as the Nematohelminthes student. Generally this in previous class you already learned from the like 10th class or 9th class, you already learned that Nematohelminthes or Aschelminthes also known as roundworm. Okay, so here what is that, the body appears here is a circular in the transverse cross section. It is generally here is that the Nematohelminthes or Aschelminthes, there are exist in the two forms student. What is the first one is that there is a free living form, another one is parasitic form. Free living form, it is available in the either aquatic and terrestrial or land, and the parasitic, it is generally it is found in the host organisms such as human being. You can see here the diagrammatic representation I am providing for you. What is that? This is under microscope. Okay, this under microscope, this is, you can see this one, it is a male male Aschelminthes. Okay, this is a Ascaris student. This is one type of species, Ascaris. Here this is a male is having the very short, but in case of the female is having the very longer. No, this is a very very important features in the Aschelminthes we can observe now. So the generally this is example for the Ascaris. Ascaris is known as one type of roundworm. Here the female having the larger and compared to the male one. This is under microscope. Now you can see this, if you observe this diagram, you can understand now. So what is this this diagram is indicate now? So this indicate, this is a condition is represent, what is that? Elephantianthosis. Okay, what is this condition is represent? It is also known as the filariasis. Filariasis. It is also called elephantianthosis. So generally elephantianthosis or filariasis, how it is causes? So there is a Aschelminthes or Nematohelminthes, the name as Ochreria bancroftae. Ochreria bancroftae, it is a causative organism. It is generally affect to the lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs. It will affect to the, what is that, lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs, and the vector here is that Culex, female Culex mosquito, female Culex mosquito. The female Culex mosquito, it is a vector for carrying of this species, that is a Ochreria bancroftae. This Ochreria bancroftae, it is generally affect to the lower limbs of the lymphatic vessel. As a result, the lower limbs is to be become the more fatty material we can observe. So this is a filariasis or elephantianthosis disorder student. So the detailed information this disorder we will explain in the further class. Now another important thing is that this is another species observed under electronic microscope, that is the Rhabditis. Rhabditis. So the Rhabditis is another species. It is also causes the other disorders, and this one is the Ascaris. Ascaris. Okay, Ascaris, and this is a Wuchereria bancrofti, causes the elephantiasis disease, and this is rhabditis. So today's class I'm going to teach you there is only the general features only, student, and the next class I'm going to teach you that is a life cycle of Ascaris and Wuchereria bancrofti and so on. Okay, so this is, you can see, come again here, what is that? This is information about the Aschis helminthes or Nematohelminthes. This is generally is called the roundworm. The body is appears in the circular or transverse cross section, and here in the world there is exist, how many species are exist, students? That is nearly 15,000 species. 15,000 species are exist in the world. The next another one is talking about general features of Aschis helminthes. So you can see habit and habitat. I told you already, it is a free living or parasitic form. It is a free living and parasitic form. At the same time, it is also seen the aquatic and terrestrial form or land. For example, you can see the terrestrial example is the rhabditis. It is a terrestrial organism. Generally, it is a terrestrial, is mostly found in the soil. Okay, it is found in the soil. Now coming to the another one is a parasitic form. The common example of this one is that Ascaris, okay, and Wuchereria bancrofti. It is considered as the endoparasites. Fine. So next, this is about the habit or habitat of what is that? That is Aschis helminthes, student. Coming to the another one is the body symmetry. The body symmetry, these are the bilateral symmetrical animal. You already learned. That is a classification of the animals. You can see, already see, no, there is a body symmetry, level of organization. So once you can thorough those things, it is that it is easy to differentiate all the phylums. It is that. So here is what is that? The body symmetry here is bilateral symmetrical animals. And coming to the level of organization, student. Here the level of organization is that organ system level of organization is present. So with the help of organ system level of organization, it shows us various physiological functions. What is that? Here is the digestion, respiration, circulation, excretion, and reproduction. So here, because of organ system level of organization, it shows the various physiological functions. Those physiological function is digestion, respiration, circulation, excretion, and reproduction. Now coming to the another one is the germless. Germless, actually it is a triploblastic animals. No, what do you know about triploblastic animals? Here is that generally there are three type of germless we can observe. No, what are they? Mesoderm, endoderm, ectoderm. These are the three germless are formed during the embryonic development. So here also triploblastic, Aschis helminthes also triploblastic animals. That means it is having endo, ecto, and mesoderm. So that these three layers are formed during embryonic development. And coming to the coelom, student. Generally this is considered as a coelom, pseudocoelom. What is the meaning of pseudocoelom? You can see here already, this one is, this is about the pseudocoelom, pseudocoelom diagram I am drawing now. This is this is about the ectoderm. Okay, ectoderm, and this one is represent endoderm. Okay, and in this case, what you observe now here, student, that is a mesoderm. Okay, the body cavity is not present here now. Body cavity is present, but it is lined by it is not lined by mesoderm. That means the mesoderm is to be lined by a pouch-like material. Okay, that is a scattered pouch-like material. Okay, you can see that is mentioned here as scattered pouches present between the ectoderm and endoderm. So this one is what is that here is a scattered pouches. Scattered pouches. A scattered pouches like material. Okay, so the mesoderm we can see, student. Generally the coelom is a pseudocoelomate, that is a fast coelomate. Here the it is the organism having the pseudocoelom, that's why it is called the pseudocoelomates. Okay, here the body cavity is present, okay, but it is not lined by mesoderm. You can see this is a mesoderm is not found in this diagram now. So instead of the mesoderm, there is a scattered pouches present between the ectoderm and endoderm, that is a coelom, that is a body cavity now, right? So next, another important feature is that body form. I told now it is a elongated and a cylindrical body, it is that. Okay, next feature, student. So you can see this is about the cylindrical and body form. And next feature is talking about digestive system. Here digestive system is considered as, what is that, in the previous phylums we discussed what is that, like incomplete digestive system, and but this one is represents the complete digestive system. Complete digestive system. What do you know about complete digestive system? In previous class, that classification of animals we are already discussed. No, there are digestive system two types, incomplete and complete. In incomplete, what we observe, no, incomplete there is only one opening, that is act as a serves as a both mouth and as well as anus. But in case of here the complete digestive system, here there are two openings are there. At one opening end, at one end there is a mouth is present, at other end anus is present now. So here the ASCII element is represent the complete digestive system. That means it has a two separate opening, that is means it is a mouth at one end, anus at another end. So here the alimentary canal, we're talking about the alimentary canal, is a straight tube. You can see the diagrammatic representation, student. So this is about the female and the male. So both male and female having the digestive system. You can see this is about the straight alimentary canal, you can observe now. So the first one you can see there is a mouth is present at one end, another one you can see there is a anus at another end now. So this is about the what is that, the digestive system. One more important point, student, there is a well developed muscular pharynx is there now. So generally the muscular pharynx is shows the continuous contraction, it is that. So it shows the continuous rhythmic contraction. The muscular pharynx in the ASCII helminthus shows the rhythmic movement. A rhythmic movement, which helps in the what is that is helps in the ingestion of the food material. So here this is about the digestive system in the ASCII helminthus. I repeat once again. The digestive system represents the complete digestive system. It have the two openings. The one is opening as a mouth, another one is at anus. Here that well developed muscular pharynx is that it shows the rhythmic movement. It helps the ingestion of the food material. Now you can see, student, one more feature is we're talking about the excretory system. Here excretory tube is present, student. For suppose you can see this is a diagrammatic representation of like male, for example. Okay, so this is a female now. In this female there is a excretory tube is present now. This is excretory tube. Excretory tube is present. This excretory tube will connect to the what is that, there is a excretory pores. The body wall having the excretory pores. This is for assumption only. For example, this one, see, for example, you can see what is this one is called. This is called the excretory tube, a long excretory tube. This excretory tube, what are the waste material is present in the body, it is to be passes throughout the it is passes outside through the what this is called excretory pores. Excretory pores. So here you can see the excretory system. It is a excretory tube is present here, and it is removes the waste through the excretory pores. That means you can see this is a, for suppose material is there now, for example the material is to be passes like this. This is represents the what is this, the waste material. Fine. So this is about the excretory system, student. And coming to the reproductivity system, the reproductivity system represents the what the sexes are separate. That means it is not a hermaphrodite. it is considered as the dioecious or unisexual organism. Okay, and females are very longer than males. This is a very important point, student. And sexual reproduction takes place only here. Okay, so you can see the previous diagram. You can see what is this. You can see this is about the male, female, and the male. It is that now. So you can see the previous diagram, student. So already mentioned about this one. You can see this is about the female. Okay, the female symbol is indicating this one, no, and this is a very small this one, no, this is about the male only. So the male and female, the female is a very larger than male artist. And coming to the next slide. So these are another one is we're talking about the another one is important thing is that fertilization. Okay, what is the meaning of the fertilization here now? The fertilization is a internal here. Okay, internal fertilization. That means here the both sperms and as well as the ovum that are fused together in the inside of the body is a internal fertilization. And coming to the development, student, the development is actually it is a intermediate larval stage is present, that is called as the rhabditoid larva. Okay, rhabditoid larva, it is a very important larva seen in the like Aschia helminthes. Some of the organism shows without larval stage, that we call it as what is that? That is a directly resembles to the adult one. So that's why the development we can observe here is that both direct development and indirect development is seen in the Aschia helminthes. Okay, this is a very important point, student. Now, okay, the development in the Aschia helminthes having the what is that? There are two type of development we can observe. No, there is an indirect development, that is a larva stage what we call no rhabditoid larva, and some of the organism does not show any larval stage, that is called the direct development. Okay, it is a resembles to the directly to the adult form. So next, the common examples of this one is you can see, student, like Ascaris. This is the first one is that Ascaris. It is a represents the roundworm, and this is a diagrammatic representation of the Ascaris. And Wuchereria bancrofta, it is also called the filarial worm. It causes the what is that? Elephantianthosis. Rhabditis, it is a free living organism. It is you can see the third one is the rhabditis. It is causes the stomach discomfort. Okay, so this is about the information about like what is that Aschia helminthes. Okay, so next I'm going to just recall about this once again what we discussed now. Okay, what we discussed again in today's class once just recall now. So what is the today's class? We discussed about that classification of platyhelminthes. We have a three type of classes we have, that is a turbularia, and it is a free living organism. Both habitat is a fresh and marine water, and here is a common example of this one is the planaria, and here is the mouth is the ventral position, and the pharynx is a most extending form towards the mouth. That's what it's considered as the protrusible. And regeneration capacity is a very common here. And the other one is that what is discussed now, like the class 2 Trematoda. It is both ecto and endoparasite. It generally the bodies don't have any segments. That's why it is an unsegmented body, and it is covered with the cuticle layer now. Okay, it is a waxy layer, students. Okay, it is having the one or more suckers is present, and the mouth is the anterior part. Okay, mouth is to be anterior part here now. And the hermaphrodite organism, generally some of organisms are unisexual, and single ovary is present, but testes many are present. And the basic example of this one is that schizostoma, and also you can take an example of this one is that Fasciola hepatica. Fasciola hepatica is also this example, student. Okay, Fasciola hepatica is also coming to this class 2 Trematoda platyhelminthes, student. What is that? Here the Fasciola hepatica. Second example is that schizostoma. It is also known as the blood fluke of man. And this schizostoma shows a typical life cycle. That means the radia and metacercaria larval stage is absent. Generally, another organism, that is endoparasite, Polystomum. It is an endoparasite, is found in the urinary bladders of the frog and tortoise also. Okay, so the next Another class is about what is this? The Cystoda. It is an endoparasite only. It is mostly found in the intestines of the vertebrate, and the body is to be covered by with the help of a cuticle, and the body is to be divided into the many proglottids, but it is not considered as a true segment. It is the mouth and alimentary canal is completely absent, and here the hooks and suckers is to be act as a adhesive structure requiring for the attachment. Hermaphrodite reproductive organs are present here, and Taenia soleum, Taenia sarginata, it is a beef tapeworm. Echinococcus, this point is very important. No, that is considered as dog tapeworm. It is the very smallest tapeworm in the Platyhelminthes. And the other one is that these are the common example of Taenia soleum, Echinococcus, and Taenia sarginata. Fine. So the next other one is that Platyhelminthes, like Aschelminthes, like roundworm, and 15,000 species we can observe now. Here Phalaenopsis or Elephantianthes caused due to Wuchereria bancroftae, and generally this Wuchereria bancroftae carries a female Culeus mosquito, and it is attacked to the lower lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs. As a result, this condition we are observed now. Okay. So the next also we discuss now habit and habitat. Okay, ask parasitic form and aquatic form, and body symmetry, and bilateral symmetry, and a level of organization, organ system level of organization. So this is everything is so easy to remember, student. Okay, germlate, triploblastic, and coelom is actually pseudocoelom. The organism having the pseudocoelom, that's the organism is called pseudocoelomates, and the body cavity is to be not lined by mesoderm. Instead of the mesoderm, there is a scattered pouches are present between ecto and endoderm. Okay, and body form is elongated and a cylindrical body form. Fine. The next other one is that you can see that the digestive system, complete digestive system, mouth and anus is present. Here there is a well developed muscular pharynx. It shows the rhythmic movement. And another one you can see, this is about the mouth, student. Okay, mouth is bounded by a lips. There is a small lips is there now in the mouth itself. And the body part, you can see the body wall is, they can observe the excretory pore. Okay, and genophore is actually, this is a indicate about the what is that reproductivity organ only, genophore. And cloacal aperture. Cloacal aperture is present in the nearer to the anus only now. Okay, so this is about the perineal setae spicules. Okay, there is we will discuss in the life cycle, it is that. Okay, next another one is that excretory system. You can see there is a long excretory tube is present, that is eliminate the waste through excretory pores. And fertilization internal development is a rhabditis larva. Sometimes they do not show any larval stage, that is a direct one, and both direct and indirect is present. That's why it is both direct and indirect development we can observe in the Aschelminthes. So the next, now I'm going to I'll give you one question. It is that now. Okay, we will discuss some questions. Okay, on questions I will discuss now. Name the larval stage in Aschelminthes. Tell me your answer. What the answer is? Rhabditoid. Rhabditoid larval stage. It is not an infective stage. That is, we will explain in the next life cycle. It is that now. The next question, student. The next question. How many species of Aschelminthes occurs? How many species of Aschelminthes occurs in the world? The answer is Yes, that is answer is the 15,000. 15,000. The next question is, next question, student. The next question, student. Give Sistoda class. Give Sistoda class examples. What do you know about the Sistoda class example of Platyhelminthes? The answer is Taenia,